Well, these are my new best friends at this conference. Here they are, my two girls. I'm mentoring them in filmmaking, and I'm going to have them introduce themselves.
Hey, so I'm Sierra Robinson. I'm 16 years old. I'm from Vancouver Island, Canada, and I'm a permaculture teacher, an activist, environmentalist, and I guess, just hippie girl from the island.
Hippie girl. I love that.
Hi, my name is Zobrist, and I'm from Orcas Island, Washington, and I'm 18 years old. I'm a part of Earth Guardians, and I'm a part of the website that me and Sarah are doing, Chasing Change. I teach at schools, and I like to educate, and I like to be a voice, and I like to be a bridge, and I like to travel to make the connections to create these stories that we are doing with our film. And
So please tell us what you've learned this weekend, or a summary of what you've learned this weekend at the Global Earth Repair.
Oh my gosh. So it's been an amazing weekend of networking, talking to other people, making those connections and learning about all the incredible things that everyone is doing to help the earth. A lot of times when you're going out, you're walking around town, you'll see these people that are looking down at their feet. And there's kind of this cloud over them almost. And it can be discouraging to when you can't find people or other humans who actually care about things. And so from this week, I've learned that there is a lot of people out there who do care and who are dedicating years and years of their lives into helping make the world a better place for everybody. So I've learned that, and I've learned that it takes a lot of work to be able to be good at something. You have to practice, you have to try really hard, and you're gonna fail, you're gonna mess up at interviews sometimes, but it's all a big learning process, and it will get better, and you'll have low points and high points, but it's just, I guess the conference here is just a beautiful place to meet and connect with people and be re-inspired again. Yeah.
Well, that's wonderful, because that's true. Everything it gets better and better with work, with practice. But here's the good news. If you're doing something that you love, it doesn't feel like work, it doesn't feel like practice, it feels like joy.
You are exactly right. Well, what I have learned from coming to this conference is, well, I'm going to start off and say this, that living on an island that is very small, you can go to the mainland, you can get out, but you don't really, and again, we're a community on the island, of course, but there is not diversity on the island where I live on. In my school, I'm one of, I'm the only Latina. So coming here, there has been so much diversity, and every story that I have heard, I mean, I can't even describe the feelings that I have. And I've learned that, I've been taught by the little kids running around. I've been taught by our elders. And that's something that in my culture, because I'm adopted from Guatemala, is a really big thing. And I've learned how to connect to my roots. And I think it's super important to see the diversity in ages and in race, because that's exactly what climate change is all about, and exactly the part of all of us working together to create this big web to support Mother Earth. Mm-hmm. And she puts all of us on the earth together to be, as one and to help each other. So what I've gained from this is community and gone back to my roots. And actually, I've gained a ton of respect about the knowledge that I've learned. And I want to say thank you, especially to you too. So
it's thrilling to have all ages here, little bitty babies, all the way up. I think the oldest person here is 95 years old, and to have that kind of respect for Native Americans, for Canadians, for people from the United States. We have someone from Brazil. We have someone from Scotland. We have someone from Guatemala. We have someone from Chile. We have people from all around the world, and they've come together. And when we were doing the opening ceremony, it honestly felt as though it was a new beginning for the Mother Earth.
Oh, yeah, I completely agree. All of these beautiful stories coming together and just sharing and connecting. And like Sol was saying, is that the people that are going to be impacted the most by these problems are the young people, are the women and the people of color. And so coming together, this diverse group of people coming together and talking about how we're going to be impacted, and everyone listening, like actively listening to the problems, but then not just sitting in that heaviness and the weight of the problems, but actually thinking about and talking about the solutions, global earth repair, talking about earth repair and helping, like, how are we going to get there? What are the changes we need to make? And what can each individual do to help create change, but make it not feel like this hard, terrible thing to do, but just feel like life, like enjoying what you're doing and creating a ton of difference through that. So, yeah.
My two best friends are young to begin with, but I'm curious about when this started for you. How old were you both when you, and when did the two of you become friends and decide to do this wonderful website and do this wonderful project together?
Well, growing up on a small island, I definitely have been around nature my whole entire life. My dad's a gardener and my mom practices yoga, but being adopted and being a First Nations person, it's always been a part of me, and I've known it, not consciously, but just being who I am, I've always connected with nature. And me and my family are part of the Navajo tribe. We have connections there, and so I know the native ways, and that is kind of what we practice. So as saying that, we are children of nature. Now, I got involved with Earth Guardians, which is another organization that Sierra and I are both a part of, and that kind of created a pathway for me to be able to teach in schools, to educate more people about this, these problems, climate change, because that's what Earth Guardians is about. And we have a group of girls that are our friends that are part of EG, and we actually met at a conference in Seattle. It was kind of like Earth Repair. There was a lot of people speaking, and we connected immediately over orca whales because we both live, on the Salish, and there's a lot of problems with our orcas and the salmon. So we met, and immediately we were like, we can try to fix this. We can, or not fix it, we can address the problem, and we can educate. And we started this Google Doc, and from there we were like, wow, Sierra had this idea with this website that she had already created, and we were like, just like dreaming of all these ideas, and it just started happening and coming together, and it's pretty incredible.
A wonderful vibration called youth.
Mm-hmm. And I also have been pretty much an activist since I was in diapers. I've always felt connected to the earth, connected to the planet, and I would spend, as a little girl, I grew up on Vancouver Island, running around, climbing trees, catching frogs, playing with chickens and ducks, and I grew up on a farm, right? So I appreciated and loved all of these things, but with that appreciation and love, came this awareness that those things that I loved were being destroyed and taken away from me. So I'd go to a forest, and I used to have this place that I loved, going, there'd be these beautiful trees, and I came there a week later, and there was all these signs marked on, these little ribbons hanging off the trees saying that they were going to be cut down. And they did. Ended up that area of the forest ended up being clear cut, nothing left, completely logged and destroyed. And so that kind of thing impacts you, especially when you're just when you're a little 5-year-old and you're out playing in your favorite spot in the forest, and that isn't there anymore. So I recognized that there was all these problems, and knew that if I didn't do anything, I didn't see anyone else stepping up. I saw adults that would be like, yes, it's sad. It's okay. Here, I'll give you a hug. You're crying. But I realized that if no one else was going to do anything, then I better like get some gloves on and like start cleaning up the mess that people were leaving behind. So I got into activism, learned about Earth Guardians, and it's all kind of just been coming together in like this incredible, like everything is just happening and it feels like it's all just coming together. And so I went to this conference and I joined Earth Guardians and I met Soul and Chasing Change, this idea of sharing stories instead of like numbers and statistics, like sharing the stories and the incredible things that connect to people's hearts. And then, letting them learn from that for sure. And I think a lot of people judge us because we're young. They think that we don't know what we're talking about. They might be like, oh yeah, it's ageism. Lots of us have experienced it. It's like you're young. Okay. Yes, you're passionate. That's incredible. But it's not just passion. We've educated ourselves on these issues. We've spent the time learning and we are teachers of it too. And so we know that it's not just on the shoulders of the youth. We are the future, but we're also here right now, and it's pretty incredible watching, like at this conference, the intergenerational knowledge and the interracial knowledge and all of these, all the cultures and all those beautiful things, and connecting through that. And yeah, I think that's what I have to say.
I have a question. What is your favorite ice cream?
I love cookie dough. That was a really good question. But unfortunately, me and my dad went off sugar about last summer. So that's a rough one. But I will say that I have cheated. He'll probably see this.
What about coconut bliss? With the coffee?
Yes. There's like the tofu ice cream sandwiches.
There's
Oh my God.
Ice cream too.
Hemp.
Hemp
Yes.
ice cream.
Hemp is a really good thing. It's a medicine. I would love to try that. I've never tried it before.
Okay, and pretty soon.
Well, no, you're not going to. Are you kidding? You're not going to skip me. Sea salt caramel. And I also went off sugar, and I too have cheated. Here's the way I play the game. When I crave sea salt caramel 10 times and don't eat it, on the 11th time, I allow myself to go and have an ice cream cone.
That is so smart. Oh my gosh. I'm learning so much.
Beetlejuice?
Oh my gosh, what's my favorite kind? I think I like mint chocolate chip because it's just like, you can't go wrong with it. It's delicious. There's the fun ice cream places I go with my family all the time, but or not all the time. I'm trying to go off sugar, but it's really hard because sugar is in everything. So I think I'm going to try that idea if I can. Maybe make it every 5 times for me, but I'll work up there to begin. Yeah, I'll work up to that.
Well, all I know is that working together, we can do anything. Are there any final words that either of you or both of you would like to leave with the audience today?
Take a moment and just be silent with yourself and think about the things in your life that are important to you, whether they be family, a place in the forest, favorite food, just anything. And think about it just like going away, just like out of the blue, just like not being there. And I'm pretty sure you're going to feel sad about it. That is kind of how we feel with everything going on. And we're trying to, prevent that from happening. We're trying to prevent all that from happening. So I guess my final words that I would like to say is be really open to not just what the youth have to say, but the people around you, and respect what they're doing. And you have the power. It's called your voice. It's called your hands. It's called your body. You can change. You can make change. You can create beautiful things and help save beautiful things. And all of us here, to whoever I'm talking to, we have, you have our support, and we want to create these platforms like Chasing Change, and we have joined these platforms like Earth Guardians to create networks, to create these bonds with each other, to make this solid ground to walk upon, for all of us to walk upon and keep walking upon.
And will you tell them again the website where they can find you, and if they have questions, where they can send email?
Yeah, of course. Okay, so check out chasingchange.ca. And we're going to be putting our videos up on our YouTube channel, which we are still working on, but you can find a link to that from our website. And then, yeah, our contact information is going to be up on there. And yeah, message us, get connected, reach out to other people. And so everyone kind of has like this little fire inside them. And sometimes when the world is really dark and it's really sad and scary, that flame kind of gets really damp and like is just hardly holding on there. But then you come to places like this and you meet other people, and that spark is just lights up again, and then you kind of become this big collective fire that can just create so much change. So yeah, reach out, get connected, do everything that you possibly can to create change, because we're in a time right now where we can't afford to just sit back and watch and wait. And I think you probably heard this a lot, whoever I'm talking to, you've probably heard, yeah, we're in a scary time, do whatever you can, but it's really true, because we have such a short window of time, and we should have been acting yesterday. And so do everything you can today.
Also, this can be really fun.
Yeah.
Education is really fun, and I would like to say that I teach some of sixth graders, and we go out to beaches, we clean up, and it's a beautiful process. And so tell your friends about it. Share our videos are going to be up, and yeah, it can be really awesome.
And I'm going to be sure that my trailers to my film is on the website, and information about where I can be reached if I can help you at all. We can do this. Come on. It's just a little moral and spiritual shift in the way we live on the planet if we do not choose to be extinct. It's not the polar bear. It's not the brown bear. It's not even the orcas. It's human beings. We're not going to be here much longer if we don't wake up and start really treasuring this beautiful planet. So together,
Oh yeah, we got this.
Are you in?
yeah, are you in? We can do anything.
Yeah.
Signing off for now. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Bye.
Au revoir.